Good morning and a warm welcome to CES 2023. We are back here at the show floor. We have prepared a fantastic booth with lots of demos and wonderful showcases for all of you, of course here virtually, but especially of course for the visitors and customers that are going to show up here in the coming 4 days to see what we have geared up for them. Let me take you inside our booth and show you what we have. This is the interior of our booth. So what you're going to see here is demos from NXP, and we showcase how we enable the smart connected world. And smart connected devices are of course the things around us that enable a world that anticipates and automates. Not only for your vehicles or in transportation, where you know of course traditionally NXP a lot from silicon in cars, but also for all the other applications, big time in industrial robotics, but also very, very important, growing in significance, of course, everything that you're wearing at your body. So one of our key demos here is how we deal with ultra low energy, ultra efficient devices to power your smartwatch, your hearing earbuds, hearing aids, and your smart glasses. So what you see here is glasses from Reger, Amazon earbuds, Garmin, and Amazon watches, and all of that enabled by our ultra low power microcontrollers, smart, connected, long battery lifetime, seamless, great graphics. So great to carry these devices, and of course great to have them functional, safe, and more important for portable devices, highly secure, hacking proof. If you follow me just round here, then of course you have all of these devices that you're going to touch, that you're going to bring to your house. But smart homes so far are struggling with one big challenge. You have maybe hundreds of devices already in your smart home, and how do they connect to each other? How do they talk with each other? How do they seamlessly operate? That is the challenge of today, to make the smart home a truly usable smart home and to create, in tech language, a digital twin of your smart home by connecting your physical assets to the digital world and using the power of digital to bring it back to manage your smart home. So what we need is, we need one language, how all different devices can talk to each other. We need a lot of radio solutions, and of course we need to have one steering control center, how these devices can be operated in your house. The one language that we all humans are using is English. So me as a German, our Dutch colleagues here, our American colleagues, we all talk in one common language, English. For smart connected devices, this is not English, but it is called Matter. So this Matter standard is basically a language that everyone agreed upon, and all our devices, our reference designs that you're seeing here, they are talking Matter to each other, and the smart brain of the house can then use in Matter language its smart advices that it gets from the outside in, so from the digital twin of the house, and from all the other sensing and actuator devices in the house to steer. And the fun thing is, of course, that leads to facts that I can say, hey Siri, switch on the light, and hey Google, switch it off again. So you see already how that works. You don't need to think anymore from which brand, which device is in your pocket or in your proximity. You can work. We have our tri-radio solutions here, where we have Wi-Fi, Zigbee, Thread, Bluetooth enabled reference kits. And what we are also offering is, we help our customers, these set makers normally or often are not used, to certifying of course their devices, security-wise against hackers, and on the Matter standard. And we have all of these devices pre-certified. Our development kits are pre-certified. So as a customer, you can approach us, take those devices, start playing with them, and immediately operate them with the ecosystem devices that are already in Matter compliant in the market. You can even enable them by NFC customization. You touch them with your mobile phone, and via NFC, near-field communication, these devices are pairing, and on your app on the phone you can configure the next device that you're bringing to your house, all seamlessly, all super easy, all simple enough that even guys like me can operate them. So super cool for your smart home. Now, how do you move from the smart home and wearables further into smart health. This is of course the next thing where I, for me, want to have a digital twin that operates in a way that it assists me and protects me in case my medical ecosystem has a malfunction. You all know this from our smart watches. We have ECG monitoring. We have glucose monitors here. We have oximeters that had been very, very important during the pandemics when people had respiratory problems. What we have here, what you see here, is one of the NXP reference designs again, and a couple of plug-in solutions on the one side, ultra-low power connectivity, Bluetooth, Sigfox, positioning, sensing, motion sensing, GPS sensing, and so on. You can plug them all onto that development board, and dear developers, with that little reference kit, you can develop your own medical device and medical kit. And of course, what we can do is we are using again our NFC and security capabilities. So from a set maker, out of the factory, you can take a device, bring it home, pair it with your mobile phone, customize it, and set up even a secure link between hospital or doctor and patient. Because the last thing that you want is that someone is, let's say, messing around with your data or is espionaging your health data. So all of that, banking type level of security, seamless to operate, very easy to handle as a patient, but very, very mighty for the developers. It's awesome. So, wearables, smart health, smart home. You see, the challenges are growing in complexity. Now, what is the next big infrastructure thing that we're going to talk about? Well, very simple, smart manufacturing. And what you see here is how we deal in a very, very big smart home, so a manufacturing home, so to say, hundreds of machines, thousands of robots. And what we have is basically here a network, a time-sensitive network, so real-time communication, the famous TSN, time-sensitive network, Ethernet-based network. We have our i.MX RT microcontrollers that are acting here as gateways, as data pumping devices. We have the devices here, the RT1170, for example, that is handling the motion controller. Here behind me, you see all the funny rubber ducks, the NXP branded rubber ducks. They are moved by a quad motor control, which is in this box here. This is the true robot that is moving the infrastructure, but here is the brain of the robot, the motion controller, and here is the data pumping gateway that is steering all these 100 robots and pumping in real time, time sensitive, the real data through. You can see a lot of state of health of your machines in the command center. So I see how the robot arms are moving, whether the robots have enough material, can manufacture, can work, and all of that from your mission control center, sometimes even from your portable device as an operator, you can see what your infrastructure is doing. So you see there is a clear trend of how we connect all of these devices, how we enable them to be visible in the digital world, and how we make all of these devices getting a digital representation in the cloud. We call it the digital twin. This is really what digital twin means. Now, you see all of that, of course, and back to my old home turf, transportation. Now, how does this look like if you do not only have firmly installed robots, but if these robots get wheels? Okay, let's start simple. Let's take 2 wheels only. You have seen me coming in on our VanMoof e-bicycle over here. 27 chips of NXP are already in this generation, in this version of the bicycle that is standing over there. And what that means is, of course, for electric bicycles or the more heavy-duty version, of course, electric scooters, you can see all the NXP electronics that we have in there. Let me start with the drivetrain. We have, of course, the battery management from NXP in highly precise, highly functional, safe battery management. The motor control. We have the inverters in there. And mind you, NXP is not providing the power switches to switch on the coils of the motor, but we are providing everything else that is doing the information management of the engine. So telling these motors when to switch the coils is done by NXP. All of that is handled. Electrons into the machine, store it in the battery, get them out of the battery, get them into the inverter, and let them flow to the motor, all NXP electronics, complete. Then, of course, what you have is you have your controls for your handlebar. So, simple HMI, you will see a more complicated one in the cars, of course, later. We have the pressure, tire pressure control, very nicely linked here via UHF or BLE to the central system. Of course, what is important in here is our CMOS radar solutions. You're going to hear more about that soon. And in itself. You see, of course, also our i.MXs, and last but not least, to operate the graphics displays. So a complete rolling smart connected machine already at affordable cost, especially important for emerging countries, countries like India, where the transportation is switching big time from fuel-driven two-wheelers into electric two-wheelers as well. Now, adding 2 more wheels. What are we doing when we are moving into the car area? Here what you see is our latest and greatest S32 K3 microcontroller. So the S32 platform is our automotive, heavy-duty, highly functional, safe, highly secure microcontroller platform. And what you see here is the K3, which is an offspring of a body controller family, but not used here for body control. No, this device here is specially tailor-made for electric powertrains. You see 2 motors, you see basically a split-out inverter construction here. What you see is, the devices that are steering the power switches, the gate drivers here, and here is the brain of this inverter. And this is K3 operated. It's a fantastic device. We are providing full ACLD motor control here. And of course, why is the functional safety so important? Because you exactly want to know what each of the wheels are doing. You want to make sure, in case there is a malfunction, there is wrong data coming in, that this device does not tilt your car. All of this highly safety critical. And what our teams have done is they have put silicon accelerators into this K3. And with these silicon accelerators, the K3 is capable, has a lot of headroom on top of that, but is capable of, in a very smart way, handling the functional safe software stack on top. So that this is a fantastic installation of a fully electric vehicle drivetrain. Now, what I said is, we are working a lot with the battery management side of the car as well, and a lot of car makers are using these battery management electronics. And this is here, with our partner Electra, one of the solutions where we are working with managing batteries via a digital twin in the cloud. So, your electrons come out of the socket into your car, are stored in your battery, and then of course what you need to do is you're charging your battery, start driving, your battery depletes. If you're doing this in the right way, and if you are using smart algorithms and AI and machine learning in the cloud, how Lars is driving, how you are driving, and every one of us has a different driving profile, what you can see here in this simulation is, over a timeline of 10 years battery lifetime, you can keep your battery 15% more chargeable. So your battery is not wearing out that fast than if you would just, in an unmanaged, stupid way, load, unload, and so on. So keeping your battery alive, and by the way, your battery is the most expensive device on your vehicle. Keeping your battery in shape, keeping it maintained, keeping it well alive is of course pure money in your wallet and fun and driving range. So what are we doing? We have a NXP battery management unit, really NXP hardware. We have the battery cell monitoring here for each of the battery cells, and each cell is handled separately, charge and discharge. We have a battery junction box here. We have our smart connected gateway, and from here we connect to the cloud. And then what you see is Electra is working with that battery data in the cloud, and they are in a very nice way then showing how we can optimize that battery data. And the charging advice gets back down here to your cell management unit after in the cloud the optimization has happened. So all of that, what you see is the K3 for the drivetrain, for the inverter. Here you have the battery management control and the connected battery management control. So if you join me just over here, then of course, what is one of our core home turfs is car access. How have we dealt in the past years with car access? And this car access basically means, normally you had your key, you had a remote key, you opened your vehicle, and the vehicle then is accessible by you as the owner. This is long-term gone. We had passive keyless entry systems. Key stays in the pocket, you approach your vehicle, you pull the door handle, car opens. And of course, what is now the next generation, and this is what you're seeing here, is you can access now your property via your portable devices. And what Peter has here, just to show you two of these portable devices, is of course you can have your access in your watch, ultra-wideband enabled, or you have ultra-wideband in your phones already. and you can use this ultra-wideband for very precise range measurement. So Peter and myself can exactly know how far away our mobile phones, for example, are from each other. But Peter can do more with it, because this is a 10 gigahertz transmission of signals. And what we can do with that is we can use 10 gigahertz for radar. So 10 gigahertz radar was used right after the Second World War in these very early radar systems. And Peter is going to use this here. You see here this little funny antenna. He is unlocking via ultra-wideband in his pocket the PC, and the PC says, okay, I understand this is Peter, so I open up for my user. And if Peter has forgotten something and walks away to the kitchen, the device, via radar signaling, like a motion detector, understands, hey, he's gone. He's not here anymore. And oh yes, I can position him. He's more than 5 meters away. You know what? I shut down the PC again, and I only open up when my master is close to the device again. This is, of course, fantastic. And now what we even can do, and that is what I like very, very much, is you can precisely measure from where Peter is coming. So you can have, you see here on the floor, you see these rings, how far away he is from the device. And now what Peter can do is, he can, you see this light here, the light beam, he can do an angle of arrival measurement. So the device sees precisely where he is. And Peter, if you move your phone from the right hand, just stand still, to the left hand, you see how the light beam is moving. And this is because the receiving ultra-wideband unit can precisely detect who is coming from where. This is, of course, important if you want to pull these showcases further, and if you want to bring them into an area where, for example, Lars, with his ultra-wideband phone in his pocket, is walking to an airline gate. And the gate knows exactly this is Lars, and Lars's ticket is in his pocket. Then, of course, the device has to very, very clearly filter out that it's not the predecessor or the person after me who shows his or her ticket, but it's really linked to me as a physical person. So this is what we are doing here with these technologies, and of course, fantastic that now access control, I mentioned the car use case, can move into the houses, into your portable devices, and you easily can keep your devices at your wrist or in your pocket, and light, sound, heat follows you in your smart home, as long as these devices all talk to Matter and are steered by our system solutions. So follow me over here. Then, of course, if you dive deeper into a vehicle, you're going to see this device here. Just have a look with me into the interior. You see basically our i.MX enabled electronics cockpit. Huge screen on the co-driver side, instrument cluster, head-up display for the driver. This is, of course, what we are selling, driver workplace inside the vehicle. Then, a little move over here. This is our traditional radio business. So you will say, yeah, but Lars, traditional radio business, NXP is known for car radios since 20-25 years. Yes, but we are walking the talk of our dreams that we had already 10-15 years ago, where we said we had a traditional radio, a 2-DIN radio box in the center stack with all radio electronics and a little bit of HMI electronics in. Now, what you see is the HMI has moved here to the big screens, to your real estate. And with our SAF 9000, the latest generation of radio receiver, all in one chip, AM, FM, radio, TV, software defined, we are now flexible enough to allow for every car maker the partitioning of the radio that you want to have. So either traditional radio, okay, clear, that is simple. Or you take a little radio unit, and this little radio unit here is basically in your transmission box, in your receiving box, just 2 antennas, very tiny box here, and the PCI Express connection to an i.MX for the HMI, very simply made. And what you can do is you can detach that radio, and you can detach it and can move it as a real tuner module anywhere you want in the car, connected via Ethernet. And then what you have via this Ethernet connection is, of course, a simple 2-wire line to wherever your HMI, your radios is. So you can put your radio, for example, to the back, to the C column in the vehicle, and you can link it very nicely. Now, in the vehicle, of course, what do we have? We have our powertrain reference designs from NXP. I talked about battery management already. I talked about the S32 platform. In this one here is an S32E microcontroller, a 16 nanometer device, high performing for engine management, powertrain control, everything that you need to have vehicle dynamics is in these reference kits, and you can use it as a tier one, as a car OEM, directly take this, put your software on, work with that. Then we have the famous gold box, our connected gateway. Here is an S32G for gateway in also a 16 nanometer device. That is a smart connected way to the outside, basically the data spine, the data router of your vehicle. And then what you have is, you have basically here your orange box, and this is where the radio solution also sits in. This is one receiver of everything that is sent and received to and from the car. So all electromagnetic waves, ultra-wideband, car access, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, radio, all of these things go into this orange box. You have it safe and secure, link it to your gateway, link it to your powertrain unit, and you have a multi-firewall solution, even firewall here for hackers from the outside, firewall here for dispatching data between the different domains, firewall here to go into the brake and powertrain systems of the vehicle in a very, very seamless and nice way. And of course, down here, you see again our battery management, electronics, inverter boxes, reference designs for inverters as well. So all of that is working. Now, follow me here. I want to show you ultra-wideband radar in real-life application. You see my colleagues sitting here, and we have an ultra-wideband transceiver in the dashboard. And what this radar system is doing, what this ultra-wideband receiver is doing, is in a very, very nice way detecting the radar images of his chest. He's breathing. So what we can do is, we can say here very nicely, you see this nice signal peak, this is his breathing signal, and he is breathing at a rate of 20 breaths per minute. So this is of course fantastic. You see him here sitting in the vehicle, so vehicle is occupied. You have all that data and say, hey, there is a passenger, a breathing, living object in the vehicle. Of course, key for child detection monitoring, which is a legislation requirement in some of the countries, drowsiness monitoring for the drivers, occupancy detection in the widest sense. All of these things can work, are working via ultra-wideband systems that you easily have automotive qualified, introducible into your vehicle. So ultra cool. Then of course what you see here is outside of the vehicle, you also have solutions like this wall box charging unit here, where NXP silicon is doing the electronics charging management, charging handling from the grid into the vehicle, and also that is of course one of the key topics that NXP solutions can enable, smartly connected to your house, connected to your grid, and fueling your vehicle. So what I've shown you here in this car demo and at the wall box. Of course, you will ask me, hey Lars, but is this only demos? Can we see this in real life? And most of these things, from electronic cockpit, car access, of course our battery management solutions, are in this electric Ford Mach-E already in. A thing that I have not yet mentioned, which is also in this vehicle here, is our radar solution. So our latest and greatest CMOS-based radar systems. And you can see them here, and I'm super proud of this device. Our teams have developed a radar one chip that is sampling to customers at the moment, going into the market. So a CMOS transceiver, which had been our dream in 2013 already, building a send and receive unit for radar in CMOS technology, combining it with a microcontroller, and you see this here, this is our smart transceiver as we call it, and this little square here is handling the complete radar send, receive, signal management. And what you have down here is basically what we can also do with these CMOS building blocks is, we have 4 CMOS transceivers and one of our R45 big radar microcontrollers, and with that we can develop high resolution radar systems. So here, very, very fine resolution, here just front radar solution, and what you see is also in real demo live here, these sensors. This is how such a tiny sensor is going to look like under the bumper or in the surroundings of your vehicle. Now, to finish on the car electronics, let me show you once more in a little bit more detail how this big orange box is looking like that I had mentioned before. And this orange box, I told you at the big car demo, is basically our connectivity hub. It is in principle a complete single ECU connectivity domain. So it is handling all electromagnetic waves that are sent to and from the car. Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, radio signals, ultra-wideband access signals. You see a Wi-Fi camera, for example, going in here. You see the signals from your tire pressure monitoring going in here. You see video content via the electronics, the e-cockpit, via the dashboards going into this device. This device is doing the security handling and is connecting to the outside of the outside world of the car. This is the gateway, the gate of the car into the digital world, into the digital twin in the cloud for the vehicle. Now, from there, how do we sum this up? This is my favorite toy that you see here, because you can join me in playing with NXP, you can start learning with NXP, and this is our showroom that you can find under showroom.nxp.com, also on the internet. You can look into the different use cases, more than 55 use cases are online there. For example, you can look into what the smart city is doing for you. You can see the different use cases. You can, for example, go into transportation and mobility. You can find a reference kit, how to build e-scooters. So everything that I tried to transport, to tell you in the last 15 minutes, you can find here in much more detail, really developer ready, dive into the details. And of course, if you're here in Vegas, join us here on the show floor. I'm looking very much forward to playing with all of you, either virtually and online or here in real life for our real life discussions. Looking forward to seeing you and stay tuned. There's a lot more to come from NXP in the coming weeks. Thanks a lot, take care and enjoy the show.